Hi all, Plantside Agent here. Today's going to be part 2 on the Indian kerosene pressure stove, which will include the boil test. So if you're interested, stay tuned. Okay, continuing on. If you watched the last video, I had a problem where I had fuel vapors leaking out from the bottom of this, where this stove head fits in the little upspout right there. It was leaking out there, and I was wondering what the deal on that was. So actually, I finished up the video, went in and got it all processed, and started to get it to ready for upload, and gave this a chance to cool down. So I came back out here in the garage and took it apart, and I thought, well, I might as well film this part 2 for you. So if you're curious, if not, then you can close this one off and go off to cat videos. Anyway, what I found, well, let me drop back one. Like I said, when I got this stove, a couple of things. One, it wasn't completely put together. The pump assembly wasn't, this part of the pump wasn't in. I had to add that in and screw it in, no big deal. I don't remember if the caps, I don't think the caps in this weren't on it either. The filler cap or the pressure relief screw weren't on it, and also the burn head came separate. Of course, the little flame diverter, that all of them come that way. Anyway, and then here's the little tray for the alcohol, and that would fit in there, and then you have to screw that onto the this little upspout here from the tank. So and like I said originally, it just kind of came with this little weak gasket, and it didn't work at all. Like I said earlier, I had flames coming out all over the place, so I went ahead and got the replacement gasket. So anyway, when I pulled this off, I found the problem is that the gasket split, and that's probably because I just got a little carried away with the old wrench and reefed it down too much, because after all the failures I had before with it leaking, I guess I overcompensated. So what I'm going to go ahead and do, I have another one of these gaskets that came from the Telley lamp and stove in this kit here. Actually, I bought this kit for my Primus number 51 because actually it has the same problem with vapors and leaking out from the gasket, but then that's not surprising since it's probably the original gasket. That stove was built, I think the stamp on it was 1947, so not bad. You know, that's a long time for a gasket to hold up. So hopefully I only need one, because I'm going to use one of these again on this one. If I need more than one, it looks like I'll be ordering more gaskets from Telley. So go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and install this gasket on here and screw it back down. Then I'll see if it's going to light off. Oh, back again. I'd say this kind of like comes in two parts. You got the little alcohol tray here, so you needed. I originally just tried to put the gasket here, but it still wanted to leak out where you screw on right there. So that's why I'm using two gaskets. Why they only gave you one little one, I didn't know no place where I could put it that it wouldn't leak. So just another comment. So if you buy one of these, you might just go ahead and order the gaskets ahead of time if you decide you need one. See, I bought this just because, if you haven't figured it out, I'm a kind of a stove collector. So, and I've been looking at these for years and years, so I finally decided just to bite the bullet and go ahead and get one. You know, I kind of knew I was getting, and I figured this. You look at, I wasn't going to get, you know, premium, you know, post-war quality Primus stoves, but I just wanted to see how it was. So let me go ahead and finish getting this set up. All right, got the gasket installed, the burner head screwed back on. This time I'm not going to reef down on it. I'm just going to tighten it up enough, and I'll fire it off. And if it starts to leak, I'll just start tightening it down until hopefully I stop the leak. I have kind of used that technique before on some Savea 123s that I cleaned up, and they would start to leak out a little bit of fuel, and I just kind of tweak them down until they stop leaking. So I'll do the same with this one. So what I'm going to do again, I'm going to go ahead and try to fire this up. I'll probably do that off camera. I'm going to go ahead and use my original technique of just keeping this valve closed because I don't want to, keep over and over if it doesn't work. So just enough to get it to light up and to make sure that the flames aren't coming out from underneath. So I'll get back to you when we get to something exciting. Okay, it's starting to jet, but it looks like I'm getting a little fuel leakage above the alcohol pan. So I'm going to go ahead and then put a little bit of a turn on here and see if I can prevent that. Oh, it's leaking out the bottom too. I can see it reflecting in the brass. So I'll keep tightening it up until things explode, I guess. Oh my gosh. Yes, leaking like a son of a gun there. All the black soot smoke. There we go. That shut it down. That's starting to roar a little bit like a pressure stove. It's burning away. It's sounded pretty good right now. I'm happy about that. I got the leak stopped and the thing is actually burning. Maybe later on I'll go try lighting it off without the pumping and opening that. But so now that I got this thing going, I'm going to go ahead and set up for a boil test. Okay, I think I'm all set up for the boil test. I've got 2 cups, 16 ounces of 65-degree water, and it's a little warmer out here than last winter when the temperatures were running around 50 degrees. So let's go ahead and put this on. Start the timer, and we'll see how long it takes to boil 2 cups of water on this guy. By the way, I'm using a SAG 1-quart cook pot. You can't see the top of it. Maybe scoot this over a little bit. Not that you need to see the top. First time that pot's ever been used. I bought the 2-quart and the 1-quart, back in the early 70s, and I've used the heck out of the 2-quart. In fact, I do have a video on that on the cook set I used to use with the old SAG 2-quart. I really love these pots. They're great little pots, but I just never really needed the 1-quart. But it nests inside the 2-quart, and you can actually get a couple of plates that fit on top of the 2-quart, so make a nice little cook set. I might do a separate video on all these later on, but in the meantime, I'll just turn this off until we get some action on the water. Well, this isn't setting the world on fire. We're almost 12 minutes into this burn, and we're only up to 154 degrees. I don't know if that's just indicative of kerosene or not. Be curious, like I said, I'm really going to be curious when I fire up the original Primus, see how that works out. Funny thing is, you take something like this Fancy Feast alcohol stove, it'll boil 2 cups of colder water than I started with today in about 6 minutes. So, in most of the alcohol stoves, yeah, you're looking at 12 minutes for a 2-cup boil. So, and of course, isopropane's very fast, and I imagine I haven't done any burn tests with any of my white gas stoves yet. I'll just have to do one separate, drag out one of my Savea 123s just to see how it compares. I got another comment while we're waiting for the water to boil. I did a kind of a cursory look to see if I could see anything on YouTube, if anybody's done any videos using this stove, and so far I haven't found any. I might have to see if I can do a deeper search and see if I can see anything's actually being used to see how they look when they're using them for real. But so far, this might be the only one. Boy, the flame's awful weak. It's acting like it wants to peter out, and I've been pumping the heck out of this thing to keep the thing pressure up. So I don't know what's going on. Boy, it's just like I say, we're 186 degrees in 18 minutes. So I say, I'm trying to keep the pressure up in it, but usually when you pump them up, the flame gets a lot stronger. But this thing is pretty darn weak, just kind of a yellow flame, barely going. So I don't know, guys. I don't know if I'm gonna hang around much longer or not. see if this thing will boil some water. Yeah, it's not, it's not roaring like most of these stoves do, that little popping roaring sound. This thing's just kind of pathetic right now, acting like it wants to completely burn out. You know what, guys? I think I'm going to call this test. I don't, so far, gosh, coming up on 20 minutes and not even near a boil. It definitely be difficult to cook on this thing. This thing is just kind of, that's about as much heat as a match head will put out right now, and it's not, not hearing any pressure in it. So I don't know. Like I said, I bought this just to add to my collection. I was curious about it, and I've learned a lot on the curiosity. Would I recommend this stove? No, I wouldn't bother unless you're a compulsive collector like myself. You just want, just as an example, kind of expensive for that. But I think that you can usually get them around, they run around $75-$80, which seems kind of high for what you get. So I don't know if you can find them cheaper elsewhere or not. But anyway, yeah, the flame's just about conked out. Like I said, I've been pumping pretty steady with this thing. So, it finally burned out on me. And, I've been pumping this thing pretty much constantly during the whole 20 minutes or so that I was trying to get this thing going. So, and it finally just petered out. So I decided to see how much pressure might be left in the tank. So I cracked this valve, and there was none. So I don't know if there was a leak somewhere, an air leak, or so it really can't build up pressure. That might be the problem. It's just it's not holding pressure. So anyway, this is it's been an interesting experience. So don't know what else to say about this. Like I said, I wouldn't recommend buying this stove unless you're just a collector. So, well, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.